How's it going, everybody? We're on another episode of Open for Business by Aggressive Marketing Solutions. We have a real treat for you today. This is our first interview on the new live show and podcast. And today we're going to interview Wes Tankersley. And we've been pretty good buddies for a couple years now. Introduce yourself, Wes.
What's going on, everyone? I'm pretty excited for this. This is awesome.
Yeah, so Wes and I, we've been friends for a little while. We coached baseball together at Middleton High School, and he moved on in his career from a teacher, and now he's a salesman. And so we started working together with marketing and social media and things like that. And so today we have a real good treat to be able to talk about our friendship and how it's evolved and how our relationships in business has evolved and kind of the things that we're going to be doing moving forward. So I first just want to ask Wes about how did he go from how did you go from becoming a teacher and now a salesman? How did that process happen?
It was kind of crazy because I was kind of a salesman before. I worked at Les Schwab for 11 years, and that's pretty much what I did. Was selling tires all day, putting them on and
Mhm.
everything, servicing them, doing all that stuff. And I got hurt, and I went back to college, and I I was originally going to college to be a PE teacher and an athletic trainer, and it didn't really pan out for me. I started working at Les Schwab, and I saw money, and that's what I did. I went and did it. So I did it for 11 years, and I got hurt, and had an opportunity to go back to college, and that was what happened. I went back to BSU. I got a degree in physical education. I couldn't really get the athletic training part because I'm not a very strong student in math, and there's a lot of math involved in it. So um, I ended up getting a PE degree, and when I got that, I ended up teaching in Marsing, and I was the head baseball coach over at the high school, but I was teaching middle school PE. And while I was doing that, I was getting my master's degree, and 2 years into that, I ended up going to Middleton as I started out teaching advisory, which you're not much older than me, and I know that you had that class, so it
I did.
was
I
kind of
did have that
interesting.
class.
Yeah, yeah, and I didn't hear any good things about it, and I tried the best to make people understand that there was a little value in it. But those kids, they had a hard time. They had a bad taste in their mouth because they changed it so many times. And the following year, I was able to get a job teaching PE. They added a PE teacher, and I continued to coach. I ended up being the head baseball coach for the freshman team, which you helped me coach after Summer Legion, which we coached together, which was awesome. That's kind of how we met, and we've always kind of had this kind of chemistry that works pretty well together. And I a couple of years there, like the administration, there was a lot of changes. There was a lot of things going on that was kind of funky, and the school board was a little different. There was all these things going on, and I just realized that um, there wasn't a lot of emphasis on teaching as a profession. They don't pay teachers really well. um, they don't take really good care of them as far as things go. It's all about teaching to a test, and you can't really be a teacher. And I mean, I was a PE teacher, but I could see that with all the people that I taught with. And I decided that I needed to do something different. And the opportunity came for me to sell window coverings for a family friend, which was awesome because it ended up, getting me into what I'm doing now. And it's crazy. I started out running ads with you, but turned into not doing that because it didn't really work out. And then realizing that I needed to do more. And now that I've done that, I've had so many opportunities, and this opportunity presented itself the other day. You know how excited I am. I mean, after talking to you on the phone for hours, like I feel like that's going to be the way it is. We're going to be talking a lot and running ideas off of each other. It's pretty exciting what's going to happen. This is the beginning of that process, but I see the end result. I see what's happening, just like you do. We both have this vision, and we're gonna make it happen together. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. So give me some context on back when you were going back to school. What was your mindset at the time that you felt like, okay, I need to go back to school to do what?
Well, it was funny because I do a lot of live videos on Instagram all the time, and I talk about this a lot. But my parents, their whole thing was, hey, you need to go to college. We need you to have more. We want you to have more than what we had, because they didn't go to college. Um, my mom did. She, like, as I was, I think, my freshman year in college, my mom finished her degree while she was raising my younger brother, because there's three of us, and I was out of the house already. I got married when I was 19, so I've been married for almost 20 years, and so when I left the house, I left the house. My older brother was at Idaho at U of I getting an engineering degree, but he was kind of still back and forth, and so they told us, so hey, you need to do this. This is what it was kind of that American dream. Hey, you need to go to college, you get a degree, and you're going to make a lot of money and be successful. But what they don't tell you is that you can be successful in your own way, and you don't have to go to college. And that was the tough part for me, is like, I instantly thought when I got done working at Les Schwab that I needed to go back to college and get a degree, because I needed to make more money. I wasn't very smart because I didn't really look at what teaching got paid. I just was looking for happiness, but then realized that I was missing out on some of the things that I could have, and I couldn't adjust to a lower income. So that's kind of what led to me going back into sales and realizing that teaching really wasn't what I wanted, you know.
Hmm. So a question that I would have with that is, not that you regret any of the decisions that you make, but if you were to redo it, how would you go into your decision making process if you could go back in time?
You know, like you were saying, I don't know that I would ever redo what happened. I mean, it made me who I am. That's the hard part. Is I get where you're going and I understand that, but I think that what made me who I am is the fact that I went to college. I learned a lot of things. It cost me a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, um, but that decision that I have now, I mean, as being older and growing and knowing that I was like all about getting it happening right now, and I would have probably just had more patience, and I probably I could have ended up in this job that I have right now, had I just went to it, and I probably would have never been where I am now. And that's the thing, is like, I have a lot of faith in the fact that everything happens for a reason. And this is leading me to a path where I'm meant to be. I mean, I've had a lot of negativity in my life as far as the way that I looked at things. And in the past 6 months, I've learned so much about myself that I couldn't take it back. I mean, I'm so much happier knowing that I can be patient. I am confident in who I am. I always have been, but it's kind of defined that a little bit more. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's really, I kind of wouldn't really change what happened.
Definitely. But my question would be like, is there a smarter way to go about, like, not necessarily changing what you went through, you went to school and did all those things, but is there a smarter way to figure out what you want to do so that it's not so much like, now you've paid so much money, right? Is there a smarter way that you can avoid some of the mistakes or whatever it may be?
Yeah, I think that the big thing is just kind of, here's what we're doing. We're doing this podcast, right? I'm creating this podcast. I've done probably 4 episodes now, but it's called Shaping Success. And really what it is figuring out what success means to you, right? So success to some people means I'm rich, I make lots of money. Success to some people is I'm happy because I have just what I need. You could work at McDonald's and be happy with what you have and still be successful, because success really means what it is to you. Your definition of success and mine are similar, but they're different, right? And so that's really what it is. It's figuring out what makes you successful and deciding what's going to make you happy, because without without happiness there's no success. And so that's the tough part, I think. And that's really what I want to do. That's the kind of message that I want to get out, is the fact that you don't have to go to college. You don't have to, or you can go to college if that's what makes you happy and you want to figure that out. I mean, I look at my brother, he's an engineer and he loves it. Okay, well, you got
Hmm.
to go to college to be an engineer. You can't just go and have that stamp and just hang out. It doesn't work that way. Same thing with teaching. I have a lot of friends in the teaching field that that I respect highly, but it just wasn't for me. And they like it and they enjoy it, and so that's their success, right? And so that's really what I think it's about. It's figuring that out early if you can, but that doesn't always happen because you're going to fail at something, and what you do after you fail really defines that. I mean, you can fail at getting a degree like I did. I failed in school. The first time I went to college, I got a 1.6 GPA. When I went back 11 years later, I had a 3.5 in my bachelor's and I got a 3.9 in my master's. So it was all about perspective and how I looked at it and how I spent my time working on that. So it all just depends on what you want.
So what do you want?
What do I want? Well, I want people to be successful. I want people to figure that out and I want to help them do it. I want to help you decide what it's going to take for you to reach your goal and help you get there. And it's different for everyone. In my sales job, I look at it this way: I'm doing something that the other three or the other two salesmen are not doing. Okay, I'm putting myself out there daily, and I'm having these conversations with people, and I'm asking them what it's about, and I'm surrounding myself by these people who are like-minded. On my podcast, I had a realtor the other day named Heath Van Patten, and I watched him on social media, and he does a lot of the same things I do. He's not posting as much as I am, but he's on there and he's doing it because he realizes that that's what he needs to do. And we live in a time where everything's on social media now, and you can reach so many more people by doing it that way versus handing out a flyer. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I can hand out a flyer to 10 houses a day, or I can get on a podcast, and as soon as I get a huge following, I'm posting it to 5 different places or 6 different places, and it's showing up. So I can reach on Instagram alone by doing a live video. I have the potential to reach 1,200 people right now because that's what I got as followers. And so, that's the thing. It's like it's whatever that is for you. Now, the other two salesmen, they don't like getting in front of a camera. They don't like talking. This is not their gig. But on the same token, I see the end result of what's going to happen with me. And I already see it happening because I'm getting calls from people that see me on a daily basis. And at some point, what's going to happen is I'm going to get calls from people that are their regular customer because they see me and I'm cultivating that relationship and they are not.
That's awesome. So then, what would you say? Sounds like we're transitioning more into marketing. So, what would you say is your strategy for marketing?
The real thing that I've been doing is there's a feed, right? And that's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to brand myself. Um, I know that people are going to buy from the person. They're not going to buy from the company, right? So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I look like right now. And it does actually kind of matter what I look like. I mean, obviously I'm sitting here in a baseball hat and a hoodie, and you're in a nice dress shirt and, kind of looking a little professional. But on the same token, there's an audience out there for that, right? And so I'm trying to reach that audience. I could dress a little more professional, but it doesn't seem as authentic to me. That I want people to know who I am, you know, and that's really what it's about. It's about branding me and people seeing my face, hearing me talk. So in order to make that happen, you got to post. I mean, it really is. You got to be in that feed because I don't know. You look at Instagram at 8 o'clock at night, right? Okay, so I look at Instagram at 5 in the morning, or LinkedIn, or whatever it is that I'm posting on. And so you got to reach that and you got to keep yourself in that feed. And when you get a lot of followers, like I've noticed, I have 1,200 now. I can't get to the end of the feed. When I had 300, I could scroll through there and I could comment on every post and get to the feed, and I can't anymore. So it's really tough to do that. So I make sure that I comment on all posts that anyone comments on, because that's my way of getting it. But when I was first trying to gain a lot of followers, I'd comment on a lot of posts. I mean, I'd be scrolling through stuff and I'd spend an hour getting through them. Well, I can't get through them anymore. So it's tough. But what got me noticed is the fact that people are looking and they see, because I post 5 times, 6 times a day on Instagram, and then I cross post it to Twitter, and it cross post to Facebook, and then I go take and post it to LinkedIn. And where else am I doing it? If I do a video, it goes on YouTube. So,
TikTok.
I mean, TikTok, yeah, TikTok. I love TikTok because I can go on there, and it's not big right now with a lot of people. And there's a lot of kids are like, or a lot of people are like, oh, it's for kids. But I can take a TikTok video and I can say something in 30 seconds or a minute, and then I can cross post that to Instagram, and then it'll go from Instagram to Facebook, and I can throw it on my story. And I don't have to sit there and do an 8-minute video, which is usually about what my videos end up turning into. So it's kind of nice to be able to get that to get across all those platforms. And when you do that, depending on who you're working with, where they consume their media, where they're trying to find their news, or they're looking for something, you may not need something today, but you're going to remember that guy that's in your feed, and he pops in there every so often. And, I mean, obviously some people are probably like, oh, this guy's annoying, and they get rid of him. But I'm there for those people who need me, or want me, or want to listen to what I have to say, because it's more than just, hey, I sell blinds, so I'm a person. And it's kind of a transition, because I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing because that's what pays my day job. But the whole thing here is to make other people successful. And at some point, I want to be standing on the stage and talking to people about what it's going to take to make that happen for them and how I can help them. So that's really the end goal.
So if you broke down how much time it takes you to post on all platforms for just one post per platform, how long does that take you?
Dude, it's quick. I mean, if it's not a video, it's really quick. Sometimes it depends on the Wi-Fi connection, but I can post So if I post something on Instagram, and that's where I found the easiest way to do it, I'll find something, I'll figure out what it is, and I just usually post one thing. I know there's like these carousel things that you can do, which I see you do a lot of times, and sometimes I do it, but not as often. Like yesterday, I gave my dog a bath, and I was like, before, when he's wet, he looks kind of goofy, and then when he's halfway dry or whatever, so I'll put it on a carousel. But I just have to be able to sit down and do it. But the thing is posting, right? You got to do it. So if you don't do it, then nothing happens. And it doesn't matter what it is, it's just getting it out there. I mean, obviously you got to not put something, bad out there, but I want to be a motivational speaker, right? So I try to find motivating things in the morning, and then I'll post one. So if I take this picture of a quote, right? And then the thing that takes the longest for me is writing a little thing at the top, a little commentary on like what it is, and going through it and like double checking it and making sure that it's all grammatically correct and all that stuff, which is, it happens. I mean, I miss stuff all the time. I'm like, oh man, I missed that, and I have to go back and do it. But I can get posted from Instagram to Facebook and Twitter in about probably 1 minute if I'm good with my text, right? And then from there, I can take it and put it on LinkedIn, which takes another 30 seconds. And that's just that. So those are the picture writing type context stuff that I put up. I have Snapchat, but I haven't quite figured out, and I know we'll talk about that a little bit because I know that you know a little bit more about it than I do. But I like to start posting there more, and I can guarantee you that I can post one thing, and I can get it done in no less than, or no more than 3 minutes. I mean, it's that quick, and that's the only reason it takes more than 3 minutes is because I'm waiting for my phone, not because it's
Yeah.
not because it's hard to do. The
So
video
then
is
if
a
we
different
broke that
story
down,
because
go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead. I was just going to
So I
say the
was
video
thinking
is a
like
different story. It's a little delay there. Sorry.
the video.
Yeah. So the video takes a little longer, and it's only because we're waiting on the Wi-Fi. I mean, that's really what it is. I can do a video on Instagram Live, and that's where I do it. I'll get on there. It takes me 8 minutes usually to say what I'm going to say, and then when I'm done with that, I save the video. I post it to my story. There's one place that's already posted right off the bat. It takes probably, sometimes it'll take 2 to 3 minutes to get it to post to Instagram, but I can do other stuff while I'm waiting for it to post. All I got to do is look down at my phone and make sure that it doesn't go to sleep. And if I'm doing, and I could even turn my phone off so it doesn't go to sleep, or turn it so it doesn't go to sleep. But I don't normally do that because I don't know what's going to happen. Like I have a lot of stuff going on. So I hear people say this all the time. Oh, it takes all this time. It takes all this time. It doesn't take all this time. It takes you getting out of your comfort zone. And that's the hardest part. I started doing this podcast and I've asked a couple people to be on it. And I found that the biggest thing that prevents people from wanting to be on a podcast is the fact that they're scared about the way that they look, about the way that they're going to talk, about all that stuff. And one of the biggest things that I'm working on in my life, and I listen to Gary Vee on a daily basis because he talks about it. It's like people are just insecure, and that's what it is. I've always been insecure, I mean, I was overweight for a long time. I've had issues with that. I'm insecure, and that's all there is to it. So if I can get past the fact that there are other people just like me, I mean, I saw an article today about, someone was complaining about plus size models, and it's like, you know what? They're people too. Everyone's people. Everyone has these problems. I know that's like it's a whatever, but everyone has problems. Everyone has issues, someone has, you could have a mole on your face that you don't like, or, uneven facial hair. Some people can't even grow facial hair, but they try to, or something like that. I mean, it's just get over it. Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. But you got that you got that baby face. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
It took me a long time to grow this, but that's the thing though. It's like, we got to get past those insecurities, because if we don't, you're never going to get out of your own way, and you're not going to be happy. Like if you have this dream, and I feel like I repeat myself sometimes, but dude, when you're growing up, you want to be an astronaut. Everyone wants to be an astronaut, except for my daughter. She wants to be a doctor. But, everyone has these dreams of what they want to be. I'm going to be an astronaut. Okay, that's awesome. Now, what are you going to do to make that happen? Because that's all it takes. So if you're willing to get out there and do it, then it's going to happen. I mean, I don't know if you watched some of my videos today and yesterday. I'm so excited that Hunter Pence has got re-signed by the Giants. He is like my favorite baseball player. I don't know if we've ever talked about him before. I'm sure you've heard me say something to kids about it, but that guy is a hustler. He runs everything out. I tell kids when I coach him, go watch him. He may not be the greatest player in the world, but he busts his butt every time. And that's how he got where he got. I mean, he got dropped by the Giants last year. He changed his swing. He's 36 years old. He was very effective last year, and that's why they re-signed him. But he got that by working hard. So anything can happen. If you want to be an astronaut and that's what's going to make you happy, you can do it. You just have to bust your butt. So that's what it is. I mean, we got to work hard. If we don't, then it's not going to happen. And I recognize with what I'm doing that I can reach people. They call it, I mean, we talked about it being an influencer or whatever. And I don't know that that's what it is, but I don't really look at it that way. I look at it as the fact that I'm posting myself out there because I want people to get help, right? I want them, if they think that they can't reach a goal, I can help them do that. I can tell them what they need. It was like awesome yesterday on that podcast. I was talking to Heath, the guy that I interviewed, after we got done, and we talked about, hey, if you ever need any help with doing a podcast, it's pretty easy and I can help you kind of get it set up. It doesn't take a whole lot. After I spent 6 months overthinking it, trying to figure out how I could make it happen, and figured it out in like 3 days. So, I mean, people overthink a lot. And I don't want to like throw you under the bus, and I don't know, like we're doing this podcast, I'm like, let's just do it. Cause I don't care anymore. I'm working past my insecurities, and I know we want to put out a professional product, but if we don't put out a product at all, then we're putting out nothing. Right. And so that's what I look at. There's so many people who are afraid of wanting it to be so perfect that they won't put out anything. And that's where it's at,
Definitely. So I
I
have a
asked
question.
someone today. Yeah, go for it.
So earlier you talked about how it takes you pretty much like 3 minutes to post one thing to all these different platforms. So you're posting like what? How many times a day?
Like today, I think I probably posted, usually Sunday, I don't post as much unless I'm barbecuing like I did today. I probably posted Well, shoot, dude, I barbecued that. I posted a picture of it before when I was seasoning it. I posted a picture of when I put it on the barbecue. I posted a picture when it was done. I mean, there's three right there, which if you think about that, three times five, there's 15 posts right there on top of what I already did. So I did a video today that went to 4 or 5 different places. I threw up some quotes and stuff that I talked about. I did a couple TikToks that I cross posted because like I said, I'm trying to. I don't know what it's going to take. I know a guy, um, and I'm just going to kind of. You can't really see it back here, and I'll show you sometime. But I know a guy who plays for the Giants who autographed something for me and sent it to me. And I asked him yesterday on Twitter. I DM'd him and I said, "Hey, dude, do you have any pull with Hunter Pence?" And because that's what it's about. What's it going to take to get this guy on there? I'm trying so hard to make things go viral. I thought that if I put it on TikTok, that would make it happen. But I mean, you can post as many times as you want. I think I had 2 TikTok videos today, but it went to my feed, it went to my
How
story.
many times on average per day do you post?
I try to hit 50. I don't know. I think I'm probably like 35, probably around there.
35,
Um,
and then
yeah.
35 posts that you cross post.
Yeah, no. So, the way that I look at it is I did. So what's 35? I'm sorry. I'm going to have to do math right now. So 7 times. Okay. So I have
Okay,
seven
so
posts on five
seven
different.
times a day, and it takes you approximately 3 to 8 minutes each post to get it throughout all the platforms. So what is that?
Right.
7 times 5, that's 35 minutes a day to post. And then
Right.
here's just some more math. How many sales do you average in a week?
That's a tough one because it's different. It's so weird. Commission sales is kind of crazy, but I would say probably about 7 around there.
7 a week.
I have
So you're
4 appointments a day, so 20. Yeah, I'm at a 53 close, so probably 10. I bet you 10.
yeah.
10 sales I actually close out of 20. Yeah, because I'm at 53, 10 or 11. Yeah,
See, that's pretty awesome. So 210-ish minutes per week. So what is that, like four 4 hours a week to get 10 sales? So the
yeah,
ROI on organic content is huge, obviously,
yeah, yeah. I mean,
right?
and that's people got to see that. I think that's the hardest part is to actually get out of your own comfort zone and do it because it's legit.
Yeah. So maybe this will be the last question. Give me a simple, like, someone that they own a business and they know they should be posting on social media, but they're in that kind of mindset of, I don't know, like, what to do. How do you solve that problem?
You know, it's for me, it's simple. It's just post. I mean, you got to pick something. Like I started out, I remember kind of some of my first posts, like I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite understand. I started out like, hey, a business. All right. So we're looking at a business. So my company, they have it really simple and I'm working on trying to help them do it. But you could take a picture of a blind and then you could write a little blurb on it and then just post it. Not that hard. I mean, and then if you have all those avenues, if you have all those accounts open up, same thing. So I've got this picture of my blind in my house and I've done it before too. So I've done a video on, hey, this is how this faux wood blind works. And then I posted it on Instagram. Then I posted it on YouTube. And you can go and look, like on my YouTube channel, there's 50 videos, maybe more. There's a lot. I mean, I think I got over like 120 TikToks, which was crazy because it's just like, they're short and quick. But that's the thing. It's like figure out what you're selling, figure out what your product is. And for me, my product is me because I'm selling blinds, but the product is me. What you're buying from me. So I'm posting a picture of who I am. So I figure out what am I going to post, who I am, what defines me, and then I just, do it. So hard work, like I wake up in the morning and I start listening to something and I hear something that's like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what I think, like, okay, hard work. So get on your phone, find a hard work quote, post it up there, and then just write a blurb about why you think that's important. That's simple. It's not that hard. It's you being willing to do it. And if you go back and you look through where I started, I mean, I went back. I'm shaking. I'm nervous. You know, when I met with your dad the other day, I swear he was talking about me, but he wasn't. You know, he was talking about this other guy. But he's like, here's this guy posting these videos, and he's like kind of shaking, and it's kind of blurry, and he's not really focused, and this and that. And then for me, it just started getting better because I was like, oh, okay, I need a tripod. Okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. And I mean, as simple as like I'm looking at my camera right now after you told me the other day, hey, you need to have your head just below. Feels like it's just a little bit. It's not high enough. I need to sit up a little bit more or something, you know. But that's the thing. Those are things that you don't know, but as you do them, you get better. And so you can sit back and do nothing, or you can just do it and figure it out as you go and get business because you know I wasn't getting a whole lot when I first started doing it. And now, you know, I'm sitting in meetings and I'm talking to people that I work with about how to do what I'm doing because they can see the return. They see me getting, you know, an $8,000 sale off of Instagram. The first like legit sale that I ever got was off of LinkedIn. And you know, it wasn't a big one, but the dude called me and I show up and I sold it. And so he bought from me, you know, he didn't buy from Blind Appeal because he did see the logo on my shirt and he knew that I was a blind salesman, but he saw my video. And I've heard that so many times. I've picked up so many realtors who are great people who want to work with me because they saw me on Instagram or they saw me on Facebook. Wherever they look at their media, they saw me. And it's because I continue to do it. So don't be afraid to do it. Just do it. It's crazy.
That's legit, man. So tell everyone how they
Yeah.
can find you.
So, I mean, I'm kind of in transition right now. I'm trying to change stuff, and it's trying to figure out what my handle's going to be. Like on TikTok, it's at Wes Tankersley. On Twitter, it's at Tankersley Wes. Um, I don't know. You might have a better idea how to do that, but and then I have a Wes at Blind Appeal YouTube channel, which you can check out. If you go to my Instagram, which is wes.tankersley, I have a link tree on there, which has all the links. So follow me on Instagram and then check out my link tree, or don't follow me on Instagram, but check out my link tree and you'll have everything that you need. I appreciate that because that's awesome. I got to keep adding to that because I think it's a great way to make sure that everyone can find it. And I had a friend to go a couple months ago, hey, dude, how come I can't find it here? Well, because I don't know how, and now I do. So that was like, I wish I knew that about 6 months ago because that's a good way to find everyone. But yeah, find me on Instagram at wes.tankersley. And that's what it is right now. There's some other Wes Tankersleys out there. It's really crazy. You wouldn't think that, but there is. But yeah, once you go on there, it's on the link tree. Wherever you find me, you're gonna find it on Linktree because I've posted it to all of those avenues. But yeah, and then my podcast that I'm doing right now that you guys are going to produce is called Shaping Success with Wes Tankersley. And I've got about, what I got, 4. I did episode 4. I'm trying to get 100 pins for episode 8. So if you guys see this, just share the heck out of it because that's really what I want. I want to get him. I really feel like he has a lot to show and explain about how he's successful and what that means to him. And that's really what the podcast is about. You know, we call it Shaping Success, and you and I talked about this the other day. People kind of think like, oh, that's you're just working out success, you know, like it's getting mass, it's getting strong or whatever, but that's not what it is. It's about molding that and making it what success is for you. Because for me, it's motivating people, making other successful people. For you, it could be going outside and hitting a killer jump on your BMX bike. I mean, that's what it is. It's whatever it takes for you to be successful. And there's nothing wrong with what you define that as. It's just you got to figure that out. I want to help you figure that out.
That's awesome. Man, this is Open for Business live show and podcast. Today we had a really good treat to be with Wes Tankersley. Go and follow him. Check out his podcast, Shaping Success with Wes Tankersley. You're going to get a lot of valuable content and a lot of mindset content. And this has been an awesome episode of Open for Business. If you're looking for any marketing or any type of social media consultation for your business, go ahead and check out adgressive.com. That is adgressive.com, adgressive.com. Everyone, have a good day. Thank you so much, Wes.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.